Hi, welcome to the Flourishing Zone. I'm Coach Susie, and today I'm going to share with you a story about growth, purpose, and a case of the I nevers, and it's actually my own personal growth story. You know, those I nevers, the words that we say that prevent us from potential and possibility, those words that are limiting and excuses for not stepping forward. My story begins when I was pregnant with my third child and I was unsatisfied in my career and just super wanted to be home. So my husband and I agreed we could do it, and I was so thrilled to do it. And I loved it. I loved volunteering at school, and it was amazing. Except I had one regret. I had always regretted that I chose the wrong major in college, and that it should have been psychology, something that I could build upon for a psychology career. But I buried that dream really quick because I was so busy, and there are countless reasons why it just didn't make sense anymore. And I buried it so deep that it was dead. 25 years later, I encountered a mentor of mine who got her PhD at the time that she should have been retiring from her career. And it was even this degree that supported her career. So I didn't understand it, but I was super proud of her and congratulated her and said, "Congratulations, I would never do that." So I'm not quite sure why I made that celebration about me. That's disturbing, but it's a sign of something. So in 2016 was a very pivotal moment for me. It was regular night watching soccer at the high school when my daughter was playing high school soccer. And I got an invitation to do an obstacle course with a friend. And it was supposed to be so fun. And she got me all tucked into it. And I said yes. Come to find out, it was like a 5K with some stops in between. And I was horrified because I was 35 pounds overweight. I was in the worst shape of my life. And I was self-proclaimed not a runner. I was horrified. What did I get myself into? But I was committed to her. So I got some tennis shoes. I got my playlist together. I started running. I started training. And that first block, I had to stop and stretch my calves. The next one, I had to stretch my calf. This went on for weeks, where I was only able to run for like a block at a time. But eventually I got stronger mentally and physically, and I started believing in myself. So in 2020, before that, I just want to say, I really think that God puts people in our life that kind of nudge us in this direction, that we discover that we're more than we thought. And I think that's what happened in that moment. I feel like I was almost tricked to push myself a little bit harder. But anyway, in 2020, I started to look again at those excuses, and one by one, they kind of fell away about getting my master's in psychology, except for one, that I just didn't believe in myself enough. I was 30 years out of college. I did research and some writing and reading, but not to the rigors of a master degree in psychology. I was really scared, but I was humble enough to make a phone call and to enroll. And once I was in, there was no turning back. I summoned every bit of my character strengths. I got support from my husband and my friends and family, and I just did it. And I actually got a 4.0, go figure. But it took me twice as long in the week that my cohorts took for finishing my assignments. After all, they were about half my age, some of them right out of college. But it's one of the happiest experiences to know that you've done something really hard that you didn't think that you could do, even though it was uncomfortable. When you grow, especially in line of your purpose and how God's calling you in your life, that kind of feeling is flourishing, especially when you can share it with others, when it's not just about yourself, when it's about how you can build up your relationships, your community, your workplace, and the world. And so I ask you, what are the barriers you're putting up to living your best life, to being healthy, to being strong, to being hopeful, to believing in yourself that you can do hard things. When's the last time you were allowed yourself to be really uncomfortable to grow? Think about that time. And I want you to really step forward, look for those people in your life that can support you and lift you up, growth-oriented people, because it's time for you to start living. It's time for you to start being curious and courageous and step forward. You're amazing. Believe it and live it. Start today, you guys. Have a great day.